Greetings, fellow recording nerds. I thought I'd start this off with a bit of an update. T-shirt orders are on hold as I'm trying to finish off my web store. It'll have a shipping calculator and just make life a whole lot easier for everyone involved. When that's up and running, I'll make an announcement. I'll have rule number 2 shirts, most people like a kiss, stop cupping the mic, and hopefully a fuck you Glenn shirt available as well. Meanwhile, I'm hard at work on the How to Record Heavy Drum series. I find I'm learning quite a bit the further I get into this, and there's been some pretty big developments as far as mixing goes. Keep your eyes open for updates in this series because things are going to get very interesting very shortly. I would also like to announce that I'm now partnering up with Chicken Picks. I checked them out at NAMM, and Jacob Garcia gave me a handful of these things, and I haven't played any other picks since. Seriously, they're fantastic. Anyway, I'm doing a giveaway contest for best phrase to put on a t-shirt. So if someone out there can come up with a snappy phrase about drummers or guitar players that I can put on a shirt, I will be sure to send you a Chicken Picks sampler pack. I've already got vocals and bass players covered, but yeah, guitar players, drummers, band girlfriends, anyone involved with music that annoys you, go for it. Anyway, on to the questions.
You really do the tracks in long chunks like that? I always thought everybody did just a few bars at a time.
You're referencing the Perpetuate behind the scenes video. I can't speak for how anyone else does it, but I try to capture a performance. To me, tracking just a few bars at a time really cheats the listener. I try to get the best out of musicians, and that means they have to nail their part in the studio, not flounder their way through it. I've kicked many bass players out of the studio over the years for not being prepared. I don't copy and paste either. If the song has several choruses, then the musicians can play those choruses individually and make them unique. Copy and paste makes music monotonous. I think if more producers started pushing musicians harder and demanding more from them, we'd be listening to better records. Instead, we get this David Copperfield smoking lasers show, and that sucks.
Hey man, what do you think about blending 2 or more amp tones for rhythm guitars? Does it worth the trouble? TNX.
I use dual amps every now and then. I'll do 2 tracks on one amp and 2 discrete tracks on another for a total of 4 individual tracks. Again, referencing the Perpetuate behind the scenes video, we blended a 5150 and a Framus Cobra, and it turned out pretty well. I'd play the clip, but CD Baby has some insane copyright bot that immediately flags anything in their catalog, even if it's fair use. So I'll just put up a card here, and you can check it out that way.
You look like my gran on steroids. Just kidding, XD. My gran doesn't have beautiful hair like you, Glenn. Are you planning on doing any videos to promote compare guitar picks? Because there are some guitar picks that can withstand a volcanic eruption.
Like I said in the introduction, Chicken Picks. Killer stuff, and I can't put them down. I'll do an episode on them specifically in the very near future.
Hey Glenn, what's up? I have a question. Do you know what's up with Washburn? They seem to have lost a lot of players and kind of gone underground. Most guitar shops near me have stopped carrying them, or they only have the low-end models, which is a shame because Washburn is my favorite brand ever.
I've been a Washburn player for 30 years now. My first guitar was a Washburn SP10, which I got in 1985, very unfashionable for the time. It looked like it sat for a few years and the dealer just wanted to get rid of it, so I got a pretty good deal on it. The one pictured here isn't mine. Mine had black pickups. Anyway, it played and sounded great. But my friends had no end of fun mocking me for not having a cool guitar, so I sold it once I got my 29 fret. I've had that guitar since 1988, and I think that says a lot about Washburn's build quality because it still plays fucking great. As for today, Washburn had a pretty big presence at NAMM, and if you want a killer guitar, check out Ola England's signature Washburn Parallax Solar. Absolutely killer stuff. I want one. Anyway, if your local retailers aren't stocking them, you can find them online at sweetwater.com. But personally, I would love for them to resurrect the 29 fret beast that I've been carrying around for the last 27 years. I'd make a few tweaks for the modern age, like put jumbo frets on it before the 24th fret, passive pickups, a fixed bridge, and a 7-string option. But I'd definitely keep that crazy neck and body. Plus, crackle finishes really need to come back.
You know
what, Glenn? I've been quietly disagreeing with you about this topic in my head for pretty much as long as I've been following your channel. I guess it took this physical demonstration for me to finally get what you mean. Obviously, I'm going to hold my ground to an extent, seeing as I paid £200 for a tune-track superior drummer. Then again, I'm not running a studio, I'm just a guy recording his own songs in his bedroom. But yeah, it really shows in this video how different recordings can sound from drummer to drummer. Great video, man.
Hey Andy, thanks for writing. You're working in your bedroom, and believe me, I get it. You have to work within your limitations, and I have absolutely no issue with that at all. There's some great tools out there for the bedroom musician. I think that's awesome. But you've brought up something that I've encountered time and time again in the studio, the pride before sound argument. The I paid for this, we're using it statement. This one comes up way too much. People develop attachments to what they play with and what they write on and forget that they're only tools. I think the most extreme example of this, for me anyway, would be back in my early career in the late 90s. I had a guy come in with the worst pile of shit guitar you have ever seen. He had sanded off the finish so the wood had dried out, removed the neck pickup, and covered the hole with a picture so it flopped like a banjo when he played it. We pulled the back plate off and the wires were twisted together with no solder joints. Yeah, and the volume knob connections were actually taped on. And just for good measure, the guitar was horribly intonated and all the screws on the bridge were stripped. Then he hit me with the line, "I'm playing on this guitar or I'm not playing at all." These days it would be, yeah, there's the door, asshole, see you later. But back then I didn't have too many records under my belt, so I was trying to build my career up. So we burned hour upon hour trying to get this turd of a guitar into shape for recording. Time we could have spent, recording music. So to all you young guys out there starting up their project studios, be wary of these guys. Go for what's right for the project and not what you need to do to satisfy a musician's ego, because they will burn up your time on something frivolous and they will not care.
Hey Glenn, I was wondering, do you think sample drums will ever get to a point where they actually sound good? Or will they always sound nowhere near the real thing?
That is a great question, man. Truthfully, I've been experimenting with something that I think is going to make drum samples obsolete. I've been experimenting with this piece of software for a couple of days now, and I'll be doing a full review on it very, very shortly. What I will tell you though is I think it's a total game changer, and this will bring the live drummer back into metal in a very big way. Keep your eyes peeled to the How to Record Heavy Drums series for updates, because it's gonna be fucking great. That's it for now. Keep those comments and suggestions coming. I'll see you guys next time.